Have you all introduced yourselves?
Yes.
They have.
Okay. So we can go ahead and get started. Did she talk to you about the volume?
Yeah, louder.
Yeah.
Is my conversational tone right here appropriate? Or you
Probably a
want me to go
little
louder?
bit higher.
So like this would be fine.
That is perfect.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
Good boy.
Yay.
Here we go.
Okay. Hi, I'm Nancy.
Well, hi, Nancy. I'm Bill. Bill Winton.
So, how long were you employed by Christian Family Church?
The name is Christian Family Chapel, and I have been, that's all right, and I have been there over 11 years.
What types of things do you do for the church?
Well, most of my job is working with the middle school students. I'm the middle school pastor, and so we have 80 to 100 middle school students. Probably 30 of them go here to Mandarin Middle School, and they come on Sunday mornings, on Sunday nights, on Wednesday nights, and we help them grow in their faith and become followers of Jesus.
Can you tell me why you chose ministry as a career?
That's a good question. When I was a lot younger, I had a job at McDonald's, and what I noticed is I worked real hard, and they got a hamburger and french fries and a drink, but like 4 hours later, they were hungry, and all that work I did only lasted about 4 hours. But then I got another job, landscaping, and we went out and planted trees in front of new houses. We planted grass, and 20 years later, I can still today take you and point you to trees that I planted. They're a lot bigger, and so instead of lasting 4 hours, it's lasted 20 years. And it's just so exciting for me. When I do work, I want it to last for a long time. And I believe that what happens in this world affects what happens in eternity. And so I wanted to give myself, when I do work here, I wanted it to last for eternity. And that's what I believe we're doing with middle school students. We're encouraging them to think about their faith and what they're going to do for the rest of their life, and if they will consider following Jesus. And if they do, then their eternity has changed. And so I don't want it to last for 4 hours like a hamburger. I don't want to last 20 years like a tree. I want it to last forever and ever. So that's sort of why I chose ministry as opposed to keep digging holes for trees, or flipping burgers. Does that make sense? Do you understand it? I want it to last. That's why I chose ministry. Plus, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I look forward to going to work in the morning.
What are the educational requirements for your position?
Well, we center everything we do off the Bible. You familiar with the Bible? And so you need to know the Bible. And so I actually went to Bible college and did 4 years of Bible college, where we learned a lot of different books of the Bible. We learned theology, what we believe about God and other issues. We learned the regular college courses like English, math, science, and then we learned some leadership courses because we were going to be leading, and also teaching. Had to learn how to be a good teacher. So when I can open the Bible in front of students, they actually enjoy it, and they're just not bored silly.
What do you like most about your profession?
Oh, I love it when a life is changed. When somebody says, I'm going to be different. Things are different because of what you've done in my life. I'm the middle school pastor, and a lot of students are heading down, you know what I mean when I say the wrong road. They're going down a bad path. They're going to end up in a lot of problems in life. And because of our teaching, and they actually, they change. And they said, hey, I was going this way, but now I want to go this way. And they change direction. And that's absolutely the best part for me, when somebody tells me. And a lot of times middle school students don't do that. The guy that works with high school students, he gets that more because high school students can vocalize it. But in middle school, sometimes it's hard for them. But you can tell that they're changing.
What is a typical day like on the job?
Oh, that's a good day. Good question. A busy day. Yesterday, I was at the church at 6:30 or 7 in the morning. I was studying that first hour. At 8 o'clock, we have a bunch of students show up from Mandarin Middle, and we play like ping pong and stuff like that for 15 minutes, and then we have a Bible study for the next hour, and I teach that Bible class, and then the rest of the next part of the day, I might do some counseling if somebody comes in for counseling. I might be preparing. On Wednesday nights, we play a lot of games. We throw a lot of balls at each other, And the students just don't want any old sorry game. They want a good game. So we put a lot of work preparing what game are we going to play tonight. We talked, and then I prepared another Bible lesson, and we taught the girls on what the Bible has to say about modesty. And so there's counseling, there's event planning, there's training, there's teaching. Those are some of the big parts of my day. So it really started at 6:30 or 7 yesterday, and I got home from work. It was after 9 o'clock, and just straight throughout the day.
What advice would you give me if I wanted to pursue a career like yours?
Well, someone who wants to work in a church, they really ought to have a personal relationship with Jesus, and so they ought to develop that, study the Bible, listen to their parents and to people that are of the faith, and try to become and listen to them and get coaching from them. There is training. I would say somebody that's going to work in a position like mine needs leadership, and I would say somebody like you, Ninzi, you can be a leader right now. And all you do is you just try, and you find whether you're leading 2 people, your little brothers or sisters, or you're leading your class, or you're trying to lead people in the cafeteria. Hey, let's behave. So I would say practice leadership and try to figure out what you believe about your faith and develop that and become stronger in it.
What is the church's main product or service?
It's a good question. The church is trying to, when Jesus, he lived here on earth, and then they put him on a cross and he died, and then he rose from the dead 3 days later. That was Easter. We just celebrated it. But then he left and went back to heaven. And right before he left, he said, I want you guys to go and make disciples of everybody on the whole planet. And so what we're trying to do is just do what he said. He said, make disciples, and that's people who follow Jesus. And so that's what we do. We also, we want people to be fully functioning followers of Christ.
In what ways do you think the city of Jacksonville benefits from the Christian family travel ban?
That's good. I hope, and I don't believe this is true of every church, but I believe every church should, we work hard trying to say, how would our community be glad that we're here? What can we do that Mandarin would be glad we're actually here? And so we developed a counseling center, and people can come to our church. We have a whole different building, and people that are husband and wives are having a hard time in their marriage, they can come. Kids that are struggling and their parents are getting divorced or they've been abused or whatever, they come and everything's free, and we offer free counseling. And so that's one way the community is saying we've saved a lot of marriages, and a lot of families have been put back together that were just on the verge of breaking apart. And how to cope in society. People with eating disorders or addictions, they come to us and they're addicted to drugs or something, and we help them learn what the Bible says about that and how they can get healing and they can work towards things are better in their life. So the counseling center is one. The students, Mandarin middle school students that come to our program absolutely love it. A dad was telling me this morning that his son can't wait for Wednesday nights because we throw lots of balls at each other. We have lots of fun. There's kids everywhere, students, and then the teaching is great. They love it, and so we have a place for them to come that's safe. Some of them, it's the highlight of their week because everything else is just hard at home, and then and at school and with their friends. And there's a lot of bullying, but when they come, they have a safe environment, and so it's like a little oasis. So there's some of the things, the counseling center, a youth ministry, a place where youth can come. We try to help poor people. We do a lot of service projects. We brought in a whole bunch of food where you mix it all together and put it in a bag, and then you ship it off to Haiti. And we fed like 20,000 people, our middle school students did, by putting all this together last year. 20,000 people after the earthquake. All this food came to our church. We mixed it together, put it in boxes, put it on a big truck. And the truck went down the road, and it's getting on a ship, and it's going off to Haiti. So trying to help people, help our community and help the world.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. I sure enjoyed it. Thanks, Ninzi.
Thank
you
you.
did a great job.
Thanks.
Yay.